Hey everybody, Casey here with Life Abstract Gaming, and this week let's stick with the subject of superheroes and discuss the latest movie in the shared DC Comics cinematic universe, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is possibly the most well-known female superhero in the world. The character was created by Charles Moulton and Harry G. Peter back in 1941. Interesting fact, Moulton has said that Olive Byrne, the daughter of Ethel Byrne, who opened the first birth control clinic in the US, was the inspiration for Wonder Woman's appearance. How did Moulton know Olive? She was his student at Tufts University, and later his girlfriend, who lived alongside he and his wife. Happily, apparently. The heroine, known by the alias Diana Prince, is a founding member of the Justice League, and has had a continuous comic run since its creation, save for a brief hiatus in 1986. In terms of visual media, she had the very popular 1975 TV series starring Linda Carter and the 2009 animated movie. Despite her popularity though, there hasn't been a full-length, made-for-cinema live-action movie starring her until now. The 2017 Wonder Woman film is the fourth in the shared DC cinematic universe, which includes Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, and Batman vs. Superman. Technically, it takes place right at the end of Batman vs. Superman, but the actual plot you follow is an extended flashback to Wonder Woman's origins and her role in World War I. It's a story we're all very familiar with, and it's a blatant example of the age-old born sexy yesterday trope. If you're not familiar with this trope, it's essentially women that are in most cases highly skilled, which gives them value, but at the same time are relatively clueless about everyday things. Think Lilu from The Fifth Element or Korra from Tron Legacy as examples. I'll add a link to the Pop Culture Detective's YouTube video that coined the term in the description. Regardless of all these familiar trappings, I do think there's a lot to like in this movie. For one thing, Zack Snyder is a producer, so his signature stylish haze lends all of the critical scenes the kind of awe you've come to expect. There are some really beautiful and ugly settings in this film, but ugly is what they were going for. The contrast between the paradise of the Amazonian island Themyscira and the dingy industrial city of London to the muddy war-ravaged Western Front in Belgium does well to illustrate how far removed the world is from a place of peace. The combat is another series highlight. Honestly, I don't know what to call the Amazonian fighting style, but it's unlike anything I've seen in recent memory. The way Wonder Woman and her peers flip and twist around is almost dance-like, but immediately followed up with brutal attacks. It's extremely fitting for the characters and a joy to watch. I did find fault with a couple of small story elements though. At this stage, I'll start going more into detail about the plot and some of the revelations in the last third of the movie, so if you haven't watched the movie yet and care, consider this your spoiler warning. One tiny nag I have is how prominently Wonder Woman's trademark arm braces are shown off, yet at no point in the movie were they ever explained. The lasso of truth is given a proper introduction as well as the headband she wears and the sword she wields, but the braces that save her and her friends' lives several times over and ultimately help her defeat Ares in the end never get any explanation of their origin. Another nag is Diana Prince is never referred to by her superhero name, Wonder Woman, anywhere in the film. That moment in the hero story where they figure out a clever way to tell you how the name came about was totally ignored here, but maybe that's something they have saved for the Justice League film, because I don't think she was ever referred to as Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman either. Now, a much bigger issue I had was from the beginning of the movie, Diana is shown to be very naive. This isn't her fault though, it's the way she was being raised and shielded from harsh truths about the world by her mother, Queen Hippolyta. When she meets the pilot Steve Trevor, that naivety persists as she believes wholeheartedly that to end World War I, she need only to kill the god of war Ares. We as the audience know this situation all too well. The hero character knows information that no one around them believes until the very last moment. Despite seeing extraordinary feat after extraordinary feat, they continue to doubt what we all know is the truth from that character. This movie then gives you a fake-out scene where Diana kills who she believes is Ares in disguise and sees that nothing has ended. She gets a very meaningful and impassioned speech from Steve Trevor about how humanity does share the blame for the atrocities in the world, not just a magical third party controlling them. He breaks her naivety and tries to show her that man isn't all good or all evil by sacrificing himself to save thousands. That message is amazingly profound, but it's ultimately thrown away, because the real disguised Ares shows up, fights with Diana, and once he's killed, German soldiers literally drop their weapons and embrace the enemy they were just fighting. proving Diana right. Ares even says repeatedly during their fight that he only whispered ideas for horrible weapons into the minds of humans, but they make the choice to use them against each other. He's backing up Steve Trevor's words, but the war ends as soon as he's killed the way Diana thought it would. So which is it? The movie doesn't really give you a clear answer. I personally felt like I would have loved it if everybody did believe Diana after witnessing her power. If humanity was told that the unspeakable horror of chemical warfare during World War I wasn't actually their own fault, I think they'd embrace that idea, but would have to come back and accept the realization that no, humans can be evil on their own, but eventually find the courage to stand up against those evils and try to be better. Wonder Woman could have been a catalyst that shows mankind that despite their capacity for hate, they have an equal capacity for love, through her naive but powerful optimism. So, how did you like the Wonder Woman movie? How do you think it compared to the other DC movies so far? Are you excited to see the character again in Justice League? Let us know. We're listening.